Words come to us as naturally as breath. Have you realized how words create emotions within us? Think of the word run when you are at the running track versus when you're at a crowded place. The emotions that are created are very different. The actions thereof are very different. Imagine the thousands of words that we use to speak to others, to express our thoughts, judgments, opinions, and beliefs. Should you put yourself under the fMRI and flash the word no, you would see a sudden release of dozens of stress producing hormones and neurotransmitters. Our primitive brain is trained to protect us from threats to our survival. So when we hear a negative word, the first instinct is to arouse worry, fear, and to create stress. If your boss tells you, do what I tell you to do, then instinctively your brain would interpret it as a threat to your creativity. You would believe your growth will get inhibited in the organization and you will not be able to share your thoughts unhindered. You can continue thinking and convince yourself that you need to change your job or your role. Now, say your boss says, is there any other way to do this? You will then feel provoked to think beyond and to get alternatives. The words now gave you comfort, and your primitive brain begins to believe this is not a threat to your survival. After hearing you out, if your boss adds, how about if we do it this way? Your brain would now interpret it as an alternate, perhaps a better strategy or an additional input. Now logic, reasoning, and communication begins functioning. So positive words are constructive. They will initiate creativity, innovativeness, and collaboration. If your child comes and tells you that she's made a careless mistake, and you say, how many times have I told you to be mindful? You will discourage her to be honest with you. You have aroused her primitive brain to feel threatened. How about saying, relax for now. Careless can always become care more. We will work on it. And later, you explore mindfulness with her. So, when somebody asks you, how are you? What do you say? If you find yourself saying, can't complain, or not too bad, think of the emotions that you feel. Versus, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? When you are tired, don't say I'm exhausted. Instead, say, I'm looking forward to resting for a while. When somebody does something you don't like, instead of saying, don't do that, say, I'd like it better when you do dash dash dash. Saying positive statements removes the feeling of threat to the other person as it does to you. This opens up communication, logic, and reasoning rather than fear, worry, and stress. So stay positive.